Good evening again. We're back, and this time we are with our EU1 winner, Dynastics. Hello, mate. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good today, I think. So,
Uh, Well, after last night, yeah, pretty good is a good answer. Unfortunately, everyone, I am running solo tonight, so you haven't got the luxury of listening to any of my colleagues, Thomas or Limmy. It is just me and Dynastics tonight. And as you already know, we talk a little bit about last night's race and some other bits and bats and get some gossip. So again, everyone who hasn't yet listened in, tune in and give it a listen once this goes live. So welcome, Dynastics. First of all, congratulations. What a race that was. I mean, I watched it. I like watching as many races as I can, especially the tiers above me. I mean, just amazing. Obviously, starting off with your qualification, or your you qualified P6, if I remember rightly. Is that right?
yeah, yeah, that's correct. P6.
So, if you tell me a little bit about that, was that where you expected to be? Was you expecting to be higher? Tell me a little bit about how your quali went.
Actually, I wasn't impressed by my quali. I did a 0.4, I think, actually, right before the session
Yeah,
started, and I ended up doing a 0.8, I think, 8 high.
right.
So it wasn't a good lap, I think, for me. A 0.7 or 6 could it have been, but I made some mistakes and so. But yeah, P6 is not a good place to be in Hungary because it's so difficult to overtake. But
Yeah.
there was a lucky safety car, and some people got 5 seconds in the pit, and some people didn't pit under the safety car. So I quickly came out on track on P3, I think, or something. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, just going back to you mentioned P6 is quite possibly one of the worst positions to be on the grid at Hungary because, as you've
yeah,
said, the five guys in front of you are all on the same tyre, going to be on a very similar strategy, and are not a lot's going to change that. And with how difficult it is to overtake you, obviously you can quickly form a DRS train. And obviously, the problem you've then got behind you is obviously P7 to P10 are going to be very similar to you, but then obviously from P11 upwards, you've got them medium runners who, under normal circumstances, are going to really start kind of wheeling you in because they're going to be on a much better tyre with the mediums or possibly the hards.
mm.
So when you were sat on the grid at P6, obviously no one anticipated the safety car. So what were your thoughts? What was your kind of goal? You know, was you thinking at that point you could go on and win this race, or was you happy to concede a certain position?
I knew I had a pretty good pace around Hungary. I feel like a podium was within reach. I actually thought a little bit of doing a two-step strategy because
Okay.
soft, medium, medium is that's it's pretty fast if you can overtake. Of course, if you
Yes.
can't overtake, then it's rubbish. But I feel like I can get the speed on the straight to overtake, but yeah,
Right.
yeah, the safety guy
Yeah.
came
No.
out, so it wasn't a possibility. So yeah,
Yeah, and obviously then you mentioned as well the safety car. I mean, that was a very early safety car. Well, I mean, I think was there maybe two drivers, I believe, if I remember rightly, two drivers on the soft stayed out, and I think the rest of the top 10 come in.
yeah.
Was that something you was always going to do? Was you always, if there was a safety car before the lights went out, was you already saying to yourself, if there's a safety car, I'm going to just come straight in, no matter what everyone else does, I'm going to come in? Was that your decision straight from the start?
Yeah, because I really struggle on the soft. Got
Hmm.
yeah, overheating my rear tires on soft. I could easily do that. So
Right.
I just had to
So it was,
go on other tires as soon as
yes,
possible.
it was a bit of a no-brainer for you then. As soon as the opportunity, arisen, you were straight. You just took it and went for the hards, which was obviously worked out to be the best option. Now,
Uh,
look, I will be honest. I mean, my tire management isn't amazing. Hence why I'm probably in EU3. And when I was seeing not just yourself, but when I saw a few of the lads coming in for the hard tires, I thought, I know you can get them to the end, but surely, you've got to be toying with the idea of a potential second stop. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, we'll go into your battle with Bolin very shortly because that was very interesting as well. But before we do that, your tire management was amazing. I think the commentators said maybe with 3 laps to go, they went through the tire wear of each driver, and I think Bolin, was you maybe on the highest, I think, but not too much different. I think Bolin started pulling away slightly at the end,
Yeah,
but not much. I think it was like 1.8 seconds, I think.
Well,
How?
I can see here on my task that my rear tire was on 84 when the race ended. So
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
that says it all. You know what I mean? So like when you're going around, I mean, was there ever a point when in them last few laps when obviously I know Hungary is very difficult to overtake, but you was following Bolden for
Mm.
maybe 7, 8, 10 laps. I can't remember exactly how many laps, but you were very
I
close to
think there
Bolden for
was
a
more
long
than that
time.
actually.
Wow.
Uh,
Well, I mean, that's even more incredible. You followed a car around Hungary in that dirty air for however many laps, and I wish I had the data in front of me, but I don't. And you obviously, Bolin was always going to have fresher tyres for that reason. He had a clean track in front of him. You were stuck behind him, so Bolin was always going to have slightly better tyres towards the end. Was there ever a doubt in your mind that your tyres were going to fall off the edge and you were potentially going to drop out of that 3-second window? Because obviously Bolin had the penalty. Did you ever feel that could have been a possibility?
it could easily be a possibility. I could easily get a puncture. I think I said it in the interview yesterday after the race that last week I think I did in USA my tires was on 72% or something, and I got a puncture on the final lap.
Wow.
So I was so scared of that happening again. So
I bet. I mean, I would have been, yeah, I probably wouldn't have been able to bear the pressure. I probably would have had to come into pit and lose position just in case. But I think actually that takes me on to there was a VSC maybe 7 laps from the end.
yeah.
Possibly, I think it was around about that point. Was again there ever a doubt in your mind that I know VSCs are very risky, Hungary is a very long pit lane as well. Was there ever a doubt in your mind that you thought, actually, I might take this opportunity to come and get some softs for the last 7 laps? Did that cross your mind?
A tiny bit, but the other guys was so close behind, so I would lose way too many positions.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
it
think it was
wasn't
stupid.
really.
Yeah, it would have been a stupid decision to go into the
Yeah,
pits. So
of course. And I think that's a difficulty in it. You've got to have that positive mindset. You've got to have that belief in yourself and your
yeah,
confidence to go and do that. Because I suppose if you're someone like myself, and I'll use myself as an example, and I'm sure there's many other drivers like me, you might not have that confidence that a driver like you and many others have, and maybe you doubt yourself and think, actually, I'm gonna take the opportunity to pit here, and then you lose all them places, you can't overtake, and you end up losing 6, 7 spots because of a VSC pit. So to have that confidence is obviously a part of the ability of being in EU1, I suppose. Are you confident all race? Are you full of confidence all race? Is there any time when you doubt yourself or you get a bit nervous?
depends whether I have practice for the race or not.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe we can say Monaco next week.
Okay.
Because I'm really not good at Monaco, and I
Okay.
feel like I will not have the confidence there. I I've never had a
Right,
good
I see
race in
what you mean.
Monaco, so
Yeah.
like never. So
Well, I think that we'll move. In fact, before we move on to Monaco, actually, because
yeah,
there was 2 quick points I wanted to finish off on that. So first of all, 10 overtakes. Obviously you was leading or in second. You was pretty much the front end for quite a lot of the race. So 10 overtakes. No, we didn't expect too much, anything different. And the battle with Bolin. Obviously, I know we've touched upon it.
mm,
Was you ever going to overtake him? We were watching on stream. I was even watching with my wife. She was watching, and she has not got a Formula One brain, bless her. And the commentators, everyone was saying, "Is Dan Essex going to overtake Bolin?" It looked like you had the pace to do so. Did you have? Could you have overtook him, or did you purposely just stay behind him, knowing that he had 3 seconds of penalties? What was going on?
I never stay behind someone on purpose unless
Okay.
unless there's a big straight like a
Hmm.
Spa or something, then I
Uh-huh.
can. But I would only go for a safe move on Bolin because especially when he got the 3 second because there's no reason to sacrifice everything for
Of
going
course.
on a move. But I tried sometimes even before the 3 seconds, but Bolin
Yeah.
defended really well. So
Well, if you're
yeah.
listening, Bolan, well done, mate. Good defending. You kept him behind. But no, again, very, yeah, just sensible comments. You know, sensible driving. If the move wasn't on, why risk a win,
Mm.
or even maybe second, and then why risk it all? It's not worth it. So sensible driving. So thank you for that. Now moving on to Monaco, we've already touched upon it. It's not a favoured track of yours. Um, Obviously, we all know, even if you don't know about F1, everyone knows that in Monaco it's all about qualifying. The race can be won
Yeah.
on Saturday, or in qualifying for this matter. Obviously, we know how important it is. What are your expectations? You've already told me it's not a great track for you, but can you give me a rough estimation on where you would like to be, knowing that you're not great around Monaco?
I feel like I'd be happy to be in the points in Monaco.
Hmm.
You've seen my in U2 last season and U1 this season. My
Hmm.
qualifying pace hasn't been good at all. So
Right,
I feel like there's a big issue for me next week. I really had to
right.
practice for it, but
Of course.
yeah.
And we'll look forward to seeing that as well, of course. And actually, what you've just said there kind of brought back a question that I did have, and I completely forgot. So thank you for reminding me. And it was, you've obviously made the step up from EU2 to EU1, and I watched you last season, as did many, some amazing drives. How does it feel in terms of that jump from EU2 to EU1? Have you settled in well? I know you took a win yesterday, which is amazing.
Mm.
Do you feel you can get many more wins this season? Do you think it was a one-off? Do you think you're up there? I mean, what are your kind of ambitions now that you're in EU1? And is it a massive step up from EU2?
If you compare to EU2, then yes, it is. But I do other leagues where the competition is as good as in EU1.
Hmm.
But I feel like I maybe got the pace to get more wins. I was reserve in EU1 last season in Singapore and got
Yes.
P2 there as well. So
Brilliant.
and
Brilliant.
it
Well,
was a heavy rain Singapore or just rain. I don't know if we
yes,
were
I, I
entered.
actually, I actually
Mm.
think I remember that one. Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. I remember that as a bit of a mad one, but no, you look like when you're watching you on track, it's yeah, you're like, yeah, you've settled in so well. You can see
Mm.
that on track. The racecraft, everything was perfect, and yeah, so it's brilliant to see. Um, okay, so just a quick one on. Obviously, you discussed with the social media team before lights out at Spa just a little bit about your expectations. So I'm just going to kind of read out what you sent to the social media team, and I just want to have a bit of a discussion on that.
Uh,
So obviously, it's my first season in EU1. I've recently made a switch to the wheel, so my pace is a little bit off. My goal is to score points in every race. My rivals must be the other Danes in EU1, which obviously you can't beat a bit of international rivalry, of course, or same national rivalry. So, first of all, it's your first season in EU1. You've made the switch to the wheel, and obviously
yeah.
your goal was to score points in every race. Now, let's forget about Spa. We don't want to talk about that. Let's pretend that the season started in Hungary. Are we going to see you getting points in every single remaining race?
I, I hope so, but I just got some editing to the thing I wrote because I was not on wheel yesterday. I was on pad, so
Okay.
and the wheel I tried to get it, but it would only be every second time, second
Right.
race I would be on wheel, because then it's possible for
Fantastic.
me, and probably the rivalry also. I will not say only the Danes because I saw here earlier today that another IFR driver has joined EU1.
Yes, I
So
believe that was IFR Joey, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. And IFR is almost half of the grid now.
And
So
you're
I feel
taking
like
over.
there's
You're
a
taking over.
IFR takeover. So I feel
Yeah,
like IFR doesn't have to win EU1. So all my
right.
rivals have to be IFR now.
Right, well, there you go. Any IFR drivers listening, you've heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Dynastics is after you. He is taking everything away from you. So if you're listening to this and you want an interview, give me a shout and give it back. But no, look, we really do appreciate your time. Before I do let you go, have you got any final words or anything you'd like to say to anybody in particular or just in general before we finish this interview?
Not really. Only just I'm still waiting for some steward things from Spa to come out. But
Oh, okay.
that's up to the stewards.
Well,
Nothing more.
if the stewards are listening, pull your finger out, and I'm a steward as well, so I'll pull my finger out. But we'll certainly have a look into that for you. But look, I really appreciate you coming to join me tonight. It's really nice to speak to you again. Another driver I've never personally spoken to. I'm sure a driver that no one else, well, maybe many others in COS have not ever listened to or heard. So give it a
No.
listen. And look, thank you very much for your time, and thanks to the listeners who are tuning in so far. I think the highest highest interview is IFR Snipes, which I believe got 22 views so far. So let's get them numbers up, and if anyone wants to jump in with an interview with myself, give me a message. But again, for tonight, thank you very much. Stay safe, everyone. And a big thank you to our race winner from EU1 last night, Dynastics. Thank you,
Thank you.
mate.